So life in lockdown, week 3 already. Quickly speeding towards a whole month. But anyway, we're in week 3, and what have you got some life hacks for us for this week? Because I think one of the I read an email literally yesterday, which was in Asia. They're obviously watching the patterns that happen, and week 1 and 2, people are potentially full of sort of like running on the adrenaline of how to make changes and everything that's happening. But week 3, actually, when it's starting to be the norm and you've worked your way through all the different processes to get things up and running for yourself, is actually where potentially some anxiety sort of can start to kick in. And obviously, My Time for Change is one of those places where it helps manage sort of like some of the areas in which I was like where anxiety kicks in. And I don't know if you want to just sort of talk about some of the ways in which obviously the life hacks that are out there for us as part of My Time thing.
In terms of stress and anxiety and worry, it affects our breathing, it affects our blood pressure, it affects our heart rate. You tend to find your heart rate's a lot faster, that you tend to do more of a shallow breath, you tend to breathe through the mouth, you tend not to do the deep nasal breathing that we should, and therefore it's a bit of a double whammy, because then you're not getting enough oxygen in, which is basically what your brain needs, and therefore that sends you maybe into more of a panic, so you may be breathing even more shallowly. So that's just a very simple thing, is to just take a few minutes out of your day. It can be lying down at night, it can be first thing in the morning, it can be in the middle of the day, it can be any time. There's no limit to how often you can do this, and it's a deep breathing exercise. It's about learning how to nasal breathe. Lots of people don't. And when we nasal breathe, it's about giving the lungs their full capacity, and ultimately this is about, what's going on in the world now is about respiratory. And so if our lungs are not used to inflating properly and having their full capacity, we still want our lungs to be strong. And if you're not someone who wants to get out of breath, or maybe you can't get out of breath, maybe you're not supposed to get out of breath, maybe you are actually, you have an illness or a health marker, maybe actually in lockdown you're struggling to get your heart rate up, and actually maybe you don't know, maybe you don't know whether to get your heart rate up, maybe it scares you to get your heart rate up. Some people genuinely don't like it, so learning to nasal breathe is really, really important. And there are a couple of things. One, it's about making sure that you're not sat and crushed the way I am now, because obviously the diaphragm and the rib cage can't expand, so lying down to do it is nicer. But if you can't and you're at your desk, maybe just lean back a little bit, relax the shoulders. You're going to do it with me. There's 2 types. Some people call it a box breathe. So you can inhale through the nose for a count of 4, you hold for 4 counts, you exhale through the nose for 4 counts, you hold again for 4 counts, and then you start again. Now initially you might feel a little bit kind of, oh God, I've got no breath in, because you realise that actually you're not deep breathing. The other technique is the 3-4-5. So you'll breathe in for 3 counts, you'll hold for 4 counts, and you'll breathe out for 5 counts. So you only need to do a couple of those, and it's not easy, because you do need to just concentrate and count, and don't worry if you can't initially, but just try to do several of them where you're breathing in for that count of 3, holding for the count of 4, breathing out through the nose through a count of 5 as well. And you'll find that maybe your shoulders deflate a little bit. You may want to take your heart rate before and after, but 3 or 4 times doing that, which is less than a few minutes, you'll find that your heart rate will come down, your blood pressure will come down, you're getting oxygen into the brain, and you will feel a little bit calmer. So that's one of the ways to help.
That's really nice. Actually, having just done that whilst listening to you, it's like,
It's very simple, and yet something that we probably don't do a lot of or enough of.
Yeah, brilliant. Okay, thanks for that, Emma. So that's week 3's tip, and we'll be back for week 4's tip. When it's been a whole month for, well, for me, that is probably a little bit longer for yourself.
And probably for the community that we live, our friends who've got children, those kind of people, I think most people will be coming up for, in our world, if you're a mum of children at school, then yes.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you.